I didn't forget to go live this time. Oh, for those who did not catch the little drift there, we had an absolute phenomenal dynasty draft yesterday, and it
Well,
was
that's 2 days
live.
ago.
It don't matter. It felt like it was yesterday. That's how hype it was. Like
It
it
did
was
feel
so
like it
hype.
was yesterday.
Like I ain't even changed my title because it was just that's just how I felt. Like it's just I still am the commissioner that stole your wife on draft night. So I made a commissioner decision, and it is what it is. But
Hey, I feel it.
and of course, the three of us have one more draft going on tonight. Literally starts in an hour and 25 minutes from now. I got my big board up on this side over here, ready to rock and roll. So, what we are going to do is what we came to do, which is we came to have part two of our fantastic round of 32.
Ding, 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 ding,
And we got
ding.
a whole other side of the bracket to get to.
So,
So,
in,
without
in in
further
the words
ado,
of Power Rangers in space, let's rock it. 335. And I know y'all watch Power Rangers. Don't act like y'all don't know now. You see, look at
oh,
Moo. Moo know it. You
trust me,
gotta
I ain't
put.
said nothing but a word. Like, I'm
I should
up.
have had on my Galaxy watch just so I could type it in.
Just so
Trying
you
to
can
tell you,
type it
I hit the whole
three,
motion with it.
3, 2, 3. But
Rangers in space.
without further ado, we are starting this thing off hot with another number one seed, the big homie Al Pacino, going toe to toe with the psychopath himself and Anthony Hopkins.
I ain't gonna lie, what a matchup.
Yeah. So I'm not even gonna lie. I have problems with this one. Al Pacino
Slightly.
is one of my all-time favorite actors. Like Scarface is one of my all-time favorite movies. So I can just start there with Scarface alone. But that's just not mind. Scarface came out before the three of us were even born. But it's not the point.
Legendary.
But then he follows it up when we were a little bit older in our earlier childhood when he came out and he was the coach in Any Given Sunday. And that movie is still one of the best. It's one of the best football movies that's like a non-NFL. It's like
Really
basically
beaming.
XFL had a movie. It was Any Given Sunday. Like that's basically what it was. But I mean, that was such a legendary cast. I mean, you had Lawrence Taylor was in this movie. LL Cool J was in this movie. Of course, Willie Beeman, aka Jamie Foxx, was in this movie. Al Pacino, like phenomenal movie. Cameron Diaz was a female owner in this movie. Like it was ahead of his time because you never thought you would see a female owner in football. Actually, we still don't have one, but at
We have
least you
one
have some
in
that are part of
basketball, I
ownership
think.
groups, but not like the outright, owner of the team per se.
Yeah, I think because the only closest one is the woman who is in the group for the Denver Broncos.
Yes,
I think she might be the
and I
only
think
one.
and I think one of the investors for the Green Bay Packers as well.
Yep. I think
They're like the only team that has like basically like their team is divided up like stocks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like strange. They have like I don't even know what they call it. But anywho, but then you have Anthony Hopkins, which most of us as young children know because we got the shit scared out of us in Silence of the Lambs.
I still hate that damn movie,
And
boy.
then he follows that up with fucking Hannibal.
Yep.
And
Now
then
that movie had
yeah,
me traumatized. Okay,
boy,
because the fact of seeing somebody eat somebody else, I lost my entire perception of reality. I said, "Bro,
yeah.
what is
And
this?"
then you
movie?
had what was it? The one after that was it? I think it was like Red Dragon or something like
Yep, I
that.
was gonna say Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like obviously we're talking about like their most notable films. Of course, they've had other bunches and bunches of films also in this whole process, but those are just the movies that as kids we grew up, we didn't really know these two actors but those were our first impressions of them, which Anthony Hopkins traumatized the fuck out of us. And Al Pacino, you felt like you could own the world watching Scarface. Or, you felt like, you wanted to run through a wall with the way this man was dropping motivational speeches. That movie, still, Any Given Sunday, has so many motivational quotes. It has been used. We know we live in the era of motivational speaking and stuff. And one of the songs on one of my workout playlists is literally an Al Pacino from Any Given Sunday speech. It's one of them. It's a sports motivational track. So the fact that a movie could produce something like that just kind of adds to, what it is. And I know Anthony Hopkins has made his appearance in a couple of espionage films. I think he popped up in one of the Mission Impossible movies as well.
Yep.
He's done some other small time films, and of course he's done lots of major ones. And Al Pacino is just like Al Pacino. We ain't even start talking about the Godfather and all these other films that this man made his appearance in. The Goodfellas, like he's been in. So with all that being said, I'm gonna rock with Al Pacino because it just works.
Well then, you said a whole lot just for me to be like, there's no need to explain this because I'm going Al Pacino. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I mean, I just gotta. We can't just sit there and make picks, then people be like, well, what'd you make that pick for? Like, make it make sense. It's like, we gotta add a little flair.
The sad part is Anthony Hopkins did get matched up with Al Pacino because he might have won his first round matchup against anybody else,
This
not
is
named
true.
Denzel Washington.
This is true. So I take it, Muller, you in the same boat with that? You going Mr. Hopkins as well? Or you just gonna give him a vote? Or you gonna take Al Pacino and clean sweep it?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a clean sweep with Al Pacino. Al is my guy, and I would never ever vote against him. But I do think that Mr. Hopkins definitely does deserve some flowers. He's been in a lot of great movies, mainly the Marvel movies that just finished up. He was Odin for the longest time. He's been in Transformers, the Hannibal series. I think one that kind of gets glossed over is Bad Company and Virtuoso. Both of those movies are
Virtuoso was really good.
So this isn't us saying that we don't appreciate the greatness that Anthony Hopkins has given us, but just going up against somebody like Al Pacino that's a big ask.
That's a tall order.
That's tough. Speaking of tall orders, this next matchup is 100% a tall order situation because you have the legend himself, Mr. Timeless himself, and Clint Eastwood against the pretty boy Brad Pitt. That's a tall order for you. That is a tall order for you.
Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh.
Clint Eastwood been doing movies since our parents was little. Hell, our grandparents was like damn near almost like in high school, college when this man was making films. And of course, Brad Pitt was probably like the prime of our childhood moving up into our adult life because like you almost couldn't see a movie in 1997 and up that didn't have Brad Pitt in it in some way, shape, form, fashion.
Just about.
Like that. I mean, like you guys, like for us, like of course, Brad Pitt was a big one. Antonio Banderas was a big one. Like these guys just started popping up in every single movie. You're like, man, is Brad Pitt not in this movie? Like goddamn, like where, like, but. Clint Eastwood, of course, you know him for doing like obviously the legend himself in most of his movies, and he's the thing with him is he's got so many movies that he started producing films, and he's produced so many films, which is even crazier. But I mean, like a movie for me with Clint Eastwood that I go back to like he did in a much later time was Gran Torino.
Oh, absolutely.
Gran Torino was the original, the original Get Off My Lawn guy, but ended up turning into a phenomenal, like the story just you didn't know what direction the movie was gonna go. And all of a sudden he just turns into Billy Badass and said, I'm just gonna fuck these little young thugs up. And that's exactly what he did. So it was great.
It was the plot twist at the end for me, though.
Yeah, it was the plot. It definitely was the plot twist. Like the plot twist
that was absolutely crazy. Like how he did it, like the way he moved, how militant he moved, how everything was thought out, even to the point where the last bit of it, the last ending of the movie, where he thought out the exact plan to the point where he can take away all that girl's problems and give her something and leave her something in the end. Like that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Like, I mean, not to mention his role in $1 Million Baby.
Boy, I was waiting for somebody to get to that. I was being patient for y'all to say something about $1 Million Baby.
Shit, fuck that. I'm gonna go to 1992 and go to a movie that we all know in Unforgiven.
Oh my gosh.
Unforgiven. And then then you got to go back to Before We Were Born and Sudden Impact in like the early 1980s.
Now, Sudden Impact was, I promise you, that movie, if it was to come out right now with the action and CGI, the graphics, man, that movie would do numbers.
Oh, 100%. Of course, there was the Honky Tonk Man. If you're into that, that kind of film too. He did that. I wanted to look up. So just some of the movies that he had a part of as far as from the production side. That 1517 to Paris. Phenomenal story. If you don't know the story about the incident that happened on the train that was thwarted by these veterans. Phenomenal film. He also played a role in Sully, American Sniper. He had a hand in that as well. Letters to Jima, another one that was 2006, another great movie.
He directed $1 Million Baby at that too.
Yeah, and not to mention, I don't want people to forget this one, the 1999 version of True Crime.
Oh yeah,
And that's just how we get started. Like that's a lot when we talked about a tall order. Like, like how do you compete with that? But if anybody can do it, it's Brad Pitt.
Man, dude,
Because
Brad Pitt is
Brad
just
Pitt has been around for a hot minute himself. Now, obviously not near as long as Clint Eastwood because he's considerably older, but Brad Pitt has been doing movies since, as we used to say when we were younger, pimping, been pimping, been pimping. We know
facts.
him most notably for, of course,
Movies with
being in
slow flats on Cadillac.
World War Z, Killing Him Softly,
Fight
Mr. and
Club.
Mrs. Smith, of course,
Fight
one of the
Club.
best. One of the best. We know after watching that movie, we wanted us a Mrs. Smith. We wanted us one.
Oh, absolutely.
At
What?
least I did. I know I did. I wanted
What?
Mrs. 100%.
That movie single-handedly made me dream about Angelina Jolie for at least 3 weeks.
I mean, I already had a celebrity crush on her. I mean, I still have a celebrity crush on Angelina Jolie.
I mean,
it's hard not to.
That's neither here nor there, but
But I mean, not to mention, you go way back in a movie like Troy.
Mhm.
Troy was a huge one.
yeah.
Ocean's 12.
Oh, I remember the Ocean series was good, man.
But I saved the best for last because there's the most iconic movie that we know him for, and that's Fight Club.
Yep.
Like, Fight Club is a movie that was still talked about up until we were in college and a little bit like before that. Like, that was, phenomenal film. But I wanted to pull up his stuff because he also was in Interview with the Vampire. He was also in Sleepers. These are like movies from the 90s game. But Brad Pitt's first movie was in 1987, and it was called Hunk. I can't say I've ever seen that movie, but it looks like one of those like cheesy, like I was in high school kind of movies, type of situations. But it is what it is. Cool thing. But,
appropriate.
But of course, he was also in Moneyball. A lot of people don't know this, but he played a role in Happy Feet too. So he got his animated game on deck.
Yup.
So of course, he was in the Big Short Babylon film, which was actually really good. If you guys haven't seen that, Babylon was actually a really good film. Fury, one of my favorite military movies, more modern military movies about the tanks and stuff. So the tanks finally got some love in a military film. And of course, for me, my favorite all time, because I watched this movie religiously, is Inglourious Basterds.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that.
All right. It is one of my top 4 Quentin Tarantino films of all time. And Inglourious Basterds is like number 2 for me on that list because obviously Django Unchained is my first one, but Inglourious Basterds, because this man was killing Nazis. All right. And he said, I want my 100 scalps. All right. And I want my scalps. All right. This man said, I want my scalps. Like, he got them motherfuckers. Like, that movie was phenomenal. He also did play a role in 12 Years a Slave. Some know this, some don't. So there's a lot going on here.
This goodness gracious. This one is crazy. Oh,
let me sprinkle 2 more animated films that he was a part of. One being Sinbad. Some people forgot he was in that film. And he was also played a role in Megamind.
Yep.
So very, very good mixture of things. So he had a lot going on. He's done a lot of he's very well versed. Like,
yeah, the man has range.
So him and Clint Eastwood being matched up isn't all that bad when you start looking at them movie for movie, because they both are very flexible. They do all different types. I don't recall Clint Eastwood doing any animated films. Maybe I should go look back and see at that. But
I don't think he has.
I don't think he has. I mean, he actually, the way his voice is, he would actually be funny as shit in an animated film. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Absolutely.
Like, he has that kind of voice where he could play like like some character and you would you fall in love with it because it'd be so funny. But I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna take the upset. I'm gonna take Brad Pitt in the upset.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. That's exactly where I was going, dog. Like, I'm gonna be that guy, and I understand the legendary and the legend of Clint Eastwood. Like, I get it, right? American Sniper, Sully, like, those are one of my favorite movies. But bro, when you get to really looking at and breaking down Brad Pitt's like filmography, bro, I'm not gonna lie, he got him, bro. Like, he got Clint, dog. It's not by a lot, but he got him.
Yeah, I definitely think it's close, but that's also why I'm calling it an upset. Like this is literally like Colorado versus TCU type of upset situation. Boom, I just plugged that in. So
a lot of points scored. Somebody got to win.
So I apologize to all my boomers because I'm sure my boomers are probably cussing us smooth the fuck out right now. But
Yeah,
For
absolutely. They are.
like
what?
my mama used to say, you'll be all right.
I'm
Yep.
I'm going with
Same.
listen. I'm going with Brad Pitt and the boomers. They can be mad all they want to, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I know who Clint Eastwood is and everything, but I did not watch them cowboy movies. I did not. My family is not American, bro. We watch
Oh,
Jet Li and Jackie Chan and all these guys in martial arts. We did not watch westerns, bro. I, still to this day, I don't even know how people do it. I can't do it. So
Westerns are really not bad films, bro.
they I don't
They're
care if
really
they're
not.
not
I'm
good.
telling you,
They're,
it took me until I got into probably around in my 20s when I kind of when I cause
oh,
my grandma like religiously would watch
oh! I'm crying over here.
I forget what the name of it is. She
Oh my
watches
gosh.
every freaking day. Like it's still the reruns come on TV and stuff. But I don't know. I'll eventually remember
Mm.
it. But why you crying?
I
You good?
Oh, that's so funny, bro. Because like when you look at Clint Eastwood's movies, bro, a lot of it is cowboy movies, and then, like I'm not saying that's all of his work, but that's a lot of his early work, bro. And it's
But
like, dang,
it's
we
like
didn't,
what he's most notably known for type of
you
shit, you know.
know, like we get
And
it,
that's
you're
the
a
part.
cowboy, but can we see something else? And it's
like,
like I feel DJ because it's like we didn't really watch them cowboy movies.
that's what I'm saying. Like I can only grade your filmography on what I have watched, and his filmography is phenomenal, even without the
Oh
cowboy
shoot!
movies. I mean, he's a very well awarded actor and director. So,
Oh,
And yeah, he's 100%.
but I mean,
Give that man.
I grew up with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, I just feel is he got better. He got a better catalog from when I started watching movies.
Yeah,
oh shoot!
but
I
That
ain't
is the
watching
realest statement I've ever heard.
them westerns are not my them westerns are not my history, bro.
Now I get it.
Oh man.
so this is gonna be fun.
Wait! Oh shoot! Wait! Oh shoot! Wait! Goodness gracious!
Look, Boo is
Oh,
just
my man is on a
dying.
roll right now. Hey, he is on a roll right now. Okay, I don't even know if y'all are catching it right now in the audience in the chat, but my boy is on a roll. Okay, goodness gracious, holy. Okay.
All right, let's throw
Oh,
the
he
name
said
up.
that's not
All
even
right, so
my history.
let's get to this next one. This one will be fun. This is a wild card matchup, and it truly is because of the two actors. So you have Jamie Foxx, who we most notably know for mostly music and comedy and stuff, but he also has a very, very good movie collection. And then you have Michael Caine. Some people know him, but when you know him, you realize, oh shit, this man, that's who that is. So you know him from Kingsman, you know him from Tenet, you know him from Twist, you know him from the Dark Knight series, but you also know him from the you know him from Inception if you're into that kind of film
Mhm,
like I was.
definitely.
You've got you know him from The Prestige. This man goes all the way back to Batman Begins. He's been there. He also made roles in Austin Powers Gold Member.
Yeah, baby.
So like of course a whole bunch of Sylvester Stallone films. Uh, he was in
Oh yeah.
Jaws: The Revenge. Like this man has been making movies since 1956. To put it in retrospect for you.
We got a little animated movies going on in there too. Cars 2.
Yep.
Um,
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Muppet Christmas Carol. No, Romeo and Juliet, which is an underrated animated
Yes.
movie. I'm not even
It
lying to you.
Both
is.
of and Sherlock Gnomes.
And Sherlock Gnomes, yes, sir, absolutely. If you haven't watched those movies
Four
with your
kids in
children, I
it
suggest
as
you go
well.
do it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
4 kids in it, and Dear Dictator, which is a basically a kids film in a manner of speaking.
Wait a minute, I
Was
was
he
gonna say
was he
anyway.
the officer in Miss Congeniality, like the chief? I remember he played a role, but I can't remember what role he played.
I think, yeah,
I
he
want to
did
say
definitely was in that.
I want to say yes. He also was in a movie that, if you've seen it, like it was a phenomenal film, and that was Now You See Me, the one about all the
Oh
magicians and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Phenomenal film, and he was of course Now You See Me too.
Really dope film
Oh man,
series. Really,
we
really
have
dope.
ourselves a special appearance, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
yeah.
The
Uh
OG
oh.
has
Uh-oh.
made
The,
his appearance.
Uh-oh.
the takeover continues. I told y'all I was fucking invading everybody's show this week.
So this man just said, "I'm just gonna pull up." So that's what he did. So, like we said, we've seen it, and we talked about all the films that that Mr. Michael Caine was in. Now we talk about, of course, Jamie Foxx. We know him because if you go back and even look at a movie like Ray, everybody knows he absolutely killed that movie. Collateral, which we talked about on the other show that Mike forgot about. And I was like, how did you forget about a movie like Collateral? But let's go back a little bit. There's two films where he kind of three films where he kind of gets really started before we see him, and that's Booty Call, first of all.
One of my
You went back to Booty Call. That's what we're doing.
Players Club and Held Up. That's when you
Held
kind of
Up, man. Wow.
That's when you were kind of just like, all right, you know what? I can see Jamie Foxx in these, but then like you're like, all right, is that all he can do? But then he goes into Any Given Sunday. But then he gets into Bait, a very underrated film back at the time. Bait came out in the year 2000. Phenomenal film that like you almost forgot that it came out because he's done so many more movies that were like that were better. But Bait kind of gave you that first glimpse and like, all right, he can actually do something that's a little bit not so raunchy comedy, if you will. But of course, then he goes and follows it up with Breaking All the Rules, which we've all seen Breaking All the Rules. It's a hilarious ass film. I'm sure Mel probably got that one on VHS or DVD somewhere.
I got that. Definitely got that on VHS. No, DVD. It's on DVD. It's on DVD. I'm lying. I'm sorry.
But what I love about that now is he makes a massive transition from Breaking All the Rules in 2004 because he goes into Collateral, he goes into Ray, he goes into Stealth. Somebody forgot about them when they made that
Stealth was good.
That AI version of a jet that they had to go fight. That shit was a preview in the now. Of course, he was in Jarhead, which we're all too familiar with. He made his appearance in Dreamgirls, Miami Vice. My favorite action movie that he was a part of in The Kingdom, because I'm a big fan of like movies like that, and he played a phenomenal role in that movie. The Soloist, one of the movies that does not get talked about near as much.
For real, it's good. It's very good.
Like The Soloist is such a good fucking movie. But then Law Abiding Citizen, man,
yeah, boy.
Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx put on a show in that movie. Like that movie right there had people really thinking, like, man, what if we ever encountered a criminal that was this fucking smart? Like, this man was escaping prison without anybody noticing. Like, this man was like, oh, I'm just going to leave out this little back door, go downstairs, change clothes, still committing crimes.
I'm going to stir the pot. I'm late here, but only because, like, I only got half a screen, and I see the bracket where Brad Pitt was with Clint Eastwood.
Oh, yeah, you came in right after the upset choice pick that happened there. It wasn't an easy decision. I'll tell you that right now. It was definitely not an easy decision.
I'm y'all lucky I missed that one. Okay.
You won't miss the rest of the other side.
Hey, Moo, what I said? Moo, what I said about that one, Moo?
Hey.
Oh, we all said the same thing.
We all said the same thing, dog. We get it. We understand the legendary of Clint Eastwood, but we didn't watch them damn cowboy movies, man.
Look, okay, see, this is where y'all needed the resident old head to help y'all out. This is why y'all needed me.
I gave Clint Eastwood his flowers, like I did. Like it's just like
my boy GQ really gave him his flowers, but DJ came through with some too much truth, man.
Bruh.
He just to be wilding, but
it's all right. It's all right.
Oh,
but Moolers, what say you in this matchup between Mr. Fox and Mr. Caine?
Oh, I'm definitely going Jamie Foxx. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I guess that would be that's a no-brainer for me. So
it got to be Jamie. Like, and it's not just for the acting. If it wasn't for his range, right? Like, because he can do serious, he can do funny. He's a stand-up comedian. But the fact that he's so talented, the man can sing too. Like, if he wanted to, he can produce his own freaking soundtrack for a movie that he's in. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like part of the talent.
He did produce most of the soundtrack for Ray.
See, there you go. Boom, right there.
He did a lot of it for Soul too with the Disney.
Soul too. Yeah.
He actually released a soundtrack.
Soul was good.
Where he performed most of Ray Charles's hits.
Yep, Soul was really good. I'm not even.
Oh yeah, Soul was a phenomenal film. That was one of the better animated films, like in that
era, at that time. Yeah, no, for real, that movie was great.
Soul was a phenomenal film to watch.
That movie was great. But so yeah, I definitely got to go with Jamie.
I like Day Shift too. Day Shift was good too.
Day
Like,
Shift was really good.
Day Shift was shockingly good.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect until I was like, you know what? It's on Netflix. Fuck it, I'll watch it. And I was like,
Look,
okay.
did y'all watch Who Killed Tyrone?
Yes.
They cloned Tyrone.
Oh,
They
yeah.
cloned Tyrone.
That was, see, I liked it. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, that was a good one. Jamie Foxx plays his ass off in it.
Not to mention,
a
he
really
also,
good movie.
because you know he plays characters. So you know, have you at least seen the previews or trailers for that movie Strayed that he's in, where he plays the dog?
Yeah.
Oh
That
yeah.
That shit's
Can't wait to
funny.
watch that movie.
Yeah, that shit's funny. But I think what really sets Jamie Foxx apart from Michael Caine is that we got to see. You talked about the range specifically, Mulich, but we got to see where when Jamie Foxx played those dark roles, and I think those dark roles are the roles that we don't talk about enough because they're so different because it's the polar opposite of the personality of the actor. So you don't even know if he can pull off something like that. Because like if you watch a movie like Law Abiding Citizen, he wasn't very funny in that movie. He was majority serious. Then Just Mercy.
Just Mercy is one of my favorites, man.
And there weren't a lot of jokes in that movie. And then Sleepless was another one where he was, you know, like Miami Vice, he got to be cool. You know what I'm saying? He was like cool. He had his like kind of ha-ha moments, but he got to be real cool with it. But
that's what I'm saying. Like I want to, when we talked about this, when y'all first brought it up, y'all know who I talked about. I just want to see where he at, but that's all right. I'll wait.
Yeah. But, and we're not going to forget about Rio. All right. I seen that movie in theaters. All right. Rio was a great fucking animated film. I don't care if you hate it.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck you.
Not Rio was
like that movie because Rio was great. I ain't never enjoyed a movie about birds in my life, and that movie was extremely entertaining. Like birds are just fucking weird ass animals. But
this
that
is
movie
very
was
true.
Extremely entertaining. Like that movie
this
was
is
entertaining.
Very true. Because I do not
still
like
never
birds.
own a pet
I'm not
bird,
even gonna lie to you.
But I was entertained by that film.
I really don't even care what kind of bird it is.
Annie. Like, how do we not talk about Annie at all?
No. I wasn't gonna let y'all. I wasn't gonna let y'all move on without talking about Annie. I was just giving y'all chance to talk because that version of Annie is the best version ever made.
It is a really good. It is a solid film, and I actually really enjoyed his role in Robin Hood too.
I forgot he was in that.
Man, that was him and old buddy from Kingsman. Yeah, that was a solid. That was a solid film. Like I've gone back and watched that one a couple times. Like that was a
Jamie Foxx.
solid film.
Yeah,
I'm taking Jamie.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I just wanted to make, like I said, even if an individual does not make it out of that bracket, I want to make sure that man gets his flowers because every actor that's on this list deserves their flowers and then some. That's why they're on this list. Like, we didn't just grab a bunch of individuals and throw them together. Like there is some behind the scenes work that you guys don't get to see that between me and Micah and a whole bunch of text messages and shit that happens and trying to figure out number one seeds and shit. Like it's a lot of work that goes on before this beautiful spreadsheet that you see here is created. But I actually like this next matchup a lot, and I'm actually going to let OG Mel take us off on this one. So you have got Antonio Banderas. So one of the originators that gave us a unique type of an action film that we weren't prepared for way back when.
True.
And you got Jeff Bridges, who has done shit. What hasn't Jeff Bridges done?
I was going to say, what
hasn't Jeff Bridges done?
This is all right for me. This is no. Like this is a dog walk. This is not even.
Damn, he called it a dog walk.
Oh, a dog walk. That's exciting.
Yeah, like Antonio Banderas is like if against Jeff Bridges. That's what I'm saying. That's against Jeff Bridges. Yeah, it's no match for me. Sorry.
I get you. So I do want to highlight a few things because there was one Jeff Bridges movie that when I watched it, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. And then when I watched it, I couldn't quit laughing. And it was The Men Who Stare at Goats. My God, that fucking movie is underratedly funny as hell.
That movie is hilarious.
Like, that movie, I fell out my seat. I don't know how many times. The title sounded dumb as shit, but I was like, you know what? I gotta give it a chance.
That be the ones.
I'm glad that I did.
I was gonna say those be the ones though.
Yeah, I couldn't quit laughing. Like that movie it's like that same type of humor that you got from like Inglourious Bastards. Like you just when it happened, and you didn't. It just hit you. So, but I also understand what, like Mel said, it's kind of a dog walk. I mean, listen, just Antonio Banderas playing an iconic character in Puss in Boots is enough
Absolutely.
to,
Yeah, like
who else could have
Absolutely.
who can make an animated cat that popular to where they get their own movie and their own show? Played by the same guy. They never change the person that plays because he's that good at what he does.
And
Like
the new Puss in Boots is fire.
Yeah. So like here's how I equate Antonio Banderas for our generation. Antonio Banderas for us is literally George Clooney for our parents. Because if you think about it, when George Clooney hit, George Clooney was in everything. He even was in Batman. He was a terrible Batman, but he was in Batman. But Antonio Banderas starts off in these
Val Kilmer was the worst Batman.
Okay, that's what we can do. 100%. We can have a whole episode and debate Batman's because I'm well with the bullshit on
Say
that.
less, let me know. Say less, let me know.
I'll come through for that.
But I'm gonna bring it back to Mr. Banderas. But like these like Western style action films where he's basically going to like little towns in Mexico and shit like that. And when my man was walking around with a guitar case that was a weapon, that shit was epic.
I'm a pride. Look, I was a big Zorro fan as a child.
Hey, Zorro was the shit.
So when Antonio Banderas did Zorro, I was done. Okay, Desperado was a whole nother thing.
Yeah. When he hit old girl with the Z on her clothes and her clothes fell off, I was like, bro, listen, the character, the persona, the man GQ was created by all these iconic moments in these films. I saw these types of things and I was like, I gotta have moments like this in my life. Now, obviously, I was not trying to cut no women's clothes with a blade. but the point is, you know what I'm saying when I talk about these kind of moments, because I will say this and I will stand on this. Antonio Banderas, excuse me, is an actor that I could also see playing like a 007. He fits the personality. He's got that swag, that charm where, all right, I think he could pull it off. But the only pushback is the action films that he does, his modern ones, are a lot more grittier. And I never thought that 007 got very dark and gritty. They had a limit. They never went past this like limit. And Antonio Banderas, even if you look at a movie like Acts of Vengeance, that was a dark ass movie. Like he did a lot. Of course, he did the Expendables, which was like, I call it action comedy.
Which they're coming out with a fourth one, by the way, the Expendables.
Yeah, I know. And then we're not gonna let him forget that he also was in Spy Kids. That was his first, our first glimpse of seeing him in an espionage role, even if it was a kids movie.
Even if it was a kids movie, and I loved it.
Spy Kids was still good.
I know Spy Kids was ahead of his time. All right, Spy Kids was ahead of his time. Like it was a great film. It really was.
That's the movie for me with Antonio Banderas. Take the Lead. That was the one.
Take the Lead was good. But I liked him in Security. I liked him in Beyond the Edge. Beyond the Edge is really good. Bullethead was a really good movie. If you guys never got a chance to see that one, that was a phenomenal movie.
Bullethead is one of his underrated.
Yeah, it's an underrated film. Like because it didn't. I don't even think Bullethead hit the theaters. I think that was one of those.
Just kind of one that just popped up on like VHS.
I ended up. I caught that one at one of the bazaars overseas, and I ended up catching that movie like when we was exchanging hard drives and shit. That's like how we do in the military. But and he was also, don't forget, he was in the newest Indiana Jones. So that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm just like I just had to do a quick rerun because I was like, let me see, because I know there's movies that I'm forgetting.
Well, I'll give you one that we all should not forget: 1995's The Assassins with him and Sylvester Stallone.
With Sylvester Stallone, that's the one I was.
Yeah. Now my favorite way back when Antonio Banderas movie is 100% Desperado. Like Desperado is
always
like it that movie's goated. Like that movie is goated. Like when you talk about movies in the 1990s, like Desperado has got to be in the top 10 of all time movies in 1995. Like
it absolutely has to be.
Yeah.
Because like I can go back and watch that movie now and still be just as entertained as I was as a kid who didn't fully understand what I was watching at the time.
Like he plays that type of character. I mean, I get it. That's part of who he is, but some people don't really bring out the character.
Yeah.
Like he brings it out. Like that's
what I also liked about it though is like he's not like a guy like Liam Neeson where we know him for one type of character.
Right.
he still has the, and that's not a slight at Liam Neeson, because mind you, this man also plays Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars, which is a phenomenal thing too. But Antonio was able to still be versatile and still do different types. I mean, we forget about a movie like Original Sin with him and Angelina Jolie. And see, we talk about Angelina again. See, I hope your ears is ringing.
I was
Angelina.
gonna say, there go that name again.
The Pancho Villa remake movie, a movie that doesn't get talked about a lot. 13th Warrior.
Oh, that's one of my favorite
Yes.
movies.
A really, really good movie that, like, from back then that, like, more people should watch, because it's like one of those movies where it's like I call it a hidden gem movie, because like you can just be kind of like scrolling through the TV one day and then this movie will be on. I don't even know what I'm watching, but I'm heavily fucking invested in this movie.
No, for real.
But I also want to bring up Femme Fatale. So that movie, I watched the first time I saw that movie was the first time as a broke kid in the hood that we had ever got satellite. So we had satellite, and this is the first time I'd ever got my chance to watch like HBO and shit. And this movie came on, and I was like, "What the fuck is Femme Fatale?" Like, I didn't even know what the term meant, but I was like, "I'm gonna watch it." Man, my little young 11-year-old ass was so glued to the damn TV. I was like, "Bro, what am I watching?" Like, I was like, "This is fucking crazy." Like, I didn't know. And nowadays, being a grown ass man, I'm like, "Yeah, I bet not ever in my life come across no goddamn Femme Fatale. I'm a fighter." Like, no, my brother, that's just as bad as a Fatal Attraction. Like, it's just not what we trying to do in this life. Like, no.
Oh my god.
It's like you laugh, but you know, like,
oh,
I'm right though.
Absolutely. He telling no lie.
No, I'm fighting.
But yeah, I am with OG Mel though. I am taking Antonio Banderas with this one. I'm assuming the rest of the crew is also doing the same thing.
Well, he wins for me just for Puss in Boots alone. Like,
if you got
Puss in
kids,
Boots alone, okay,
my
that man is legendary.
Now, so, and he, that came out before my daughter was born, but she fucks with Puss in Boots too.
That boy, that man monetized Puss in Boots in his own solo movies and in all the Shrek movies, bro.
He is, and he's supposed to be Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie.
I've heard that.
What?
No spoilers. You can't be telling the crap.
My bad.
Hey man, hey, we read things around here.
You know, a lot of people ain't accustomed to reading GQ. You know that on you now to use they intelligibles.
Hey man, sounds like a them problem. Not a me problem. So this one's gonna be fun. I'm actually glad the Mel's here because this next matchup is probably the most difficult matchup so far in the first round.
No,
because we have got Morgan Freeman and
he played God. He played God.
Like, he did. He played God.
He did.
But like this is a phenomenal matchup of two very well-versed actors who played a variety of roles. Even Robert De Niro, when he played in, The Fockers and Meet the Fockers, like playing the ex-spy, and that shit was funny because he played the most serious funny role I've ever seen. Like, I was like, how are you this? Who hurt you? Like, why are you like this?
The funny thing about it, the funny thing with Robert De Niro to me is that not gonna say I didn't care too much about Robert De Niro when he was coming up, but when he got older and started playing the funnier roles is when when I started to like Robert De Niro.
You mean
I don't know why.
His official government name is what I call him, Robert Negro, because very good choice.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, Robert De Niro. He has very good choice in women.
I gotta give him that. He definitely do. But
he likes the Negroes.
Like a movie like when I really started, I guess we'll say paying more and more attention to Robert De Niro, because obviously because of when I was born and stuff, was when he was in the movie Showtime with Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, that's a funny ass movie. Now, obviously, we know him for obviously being in one of the most iconic roles because, being the big fan of gangster movies like I am, he was in Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
Goodfellas was, Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I don't have to say much. I say the title, and for all my young people watching, if you do not know, let me help you out real quick. If you don't know the movie
your life. If you don't know Goodfellas, fix your life.
If you don't know Goodfellas, if you don't know The Untouchables, if you don't know The Godfathers, Part 1 and Part 2, The Sopranos, like, I can't help you. Like, you need to go sit your ass down on a Saturday morning. Instead of watching cartoons, Watch all these movies back to back to back to back to back, and
I'm
learn
not
you
even
something.
gonna lie to you. Okay,
Like, learn
so
you
look,
something.
quick little story time, right? My brother, he just went back to college a few weeks back, right? And he, like a lot of these young people out here, have not been accustomed to the culture of which is good movies, right? They're used to all the new stuff.
I like how you said that.
So when he was out here,
I
best
got a side
believe
note when we finish.
he sat here and watched all of not only the old school black movies, but the old school gems that just kids just seem to forget, right? Like it's crazy. And he has a rule, right? My brother has a specific rule. He doesn't watch movies over 2 hours. I said, you're gonna have to get over that, big dog.
Oh,
A lot
that's
of these
crazy.
old movies,
Yeah.
a lot of these old movies
back in
with
the
story,
80s and 90s, boy, they had you these 2-hour movies. Like,
they had at
Yeah.
least 2 hour movies. And I said the
like
two of the best movies of
before
all
Marvel and
time.
DC was doing it, like they was
Yeah.
like these was already happening.
And I told him two of the best movies of all time are over 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah, Scarface gonna have you sitting down.
It does. I said, and Scarface is gonna have you sitting your ass down and
We
not
already talked,
moving.
we talked about Scarface earlier too. Like, I can't really. If you tell me that one of your favorite gangster movies of all time and Scarface ain't on your list, I really can't talk to you. Like, I just can't, because it tells me
I'm not having that
that you
conversation.
didn't watch enough films.
I'm
Like,
not
it
having
just
that
does,
conversation.
because Scarface came out before I was born and is one of my all-time favorite films. Like, I went back and watched it, and I was addicted. Look, Micah can tell you this and confirm this. When we had MySpace, my motherfucking MySpace profile was Scarface.
He's in MySpace.
Yep.
Look,
And it was Scarface when he was sitting in the chair in the tuxedo. That was
Yep.
my MySpace background. Like, Scarface is
Look.
my motherfucking guy. Like, that was my spirit animal as a kid. I thought
Still my
Scarface
spirit
was the
animal.
baddest motherfucker on the planet when I watched that movie. I was like, bro,
Absolutely.
look,
why is
GQ,
this
I
man
got.
so good?
All right, I was talking to my brother today, and I said, when I speak to my boy GQ, I'm gonna have to bring this up. This might have to be a topic for gentlemen's talk, so we can figure it out. I believe from 1980 to 2000, the greatest time in sports and entertainment, period.
When you say sports and entertainment, what's the criteria breakdown?
Everything.
So you saying sports that was on TV, like shows like Saturday Night Live and Living Color, all that type of stuff.
Movies.
The movies.
1980 to 2000.
Yeah.
That's accurate as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There's no argument.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't
Accurate
even
as
think
fuck.
we need to debate that. I think that's
It's
accurate.
accurate as fuck. Music, entertainment, acting, movies, sports, everything was literally at the pinnacle.
I mean, music is no question when it comes to the music part of it. Like,
like everything was at its peak at that
That is
point.
an untouchable time for music. Like, and that's we could, if we went just hip hop would be it. But you still got the early makings of pop. Like, you got R&B still. Like, you've still got rock and roll. Like the 80s. Like, that was a hell of a time.
That's why I was like, I'll bring it up to GQ, and maybe that can be a gentleman's talk that we can have. But
the funny part is, like, what
crazy
like, you can't tell me if you told me like 1980 all the way to 2000 versus 2001 to 2020, 21 basically, it would almost be no contest. Almost.
No, that's not. No, you can't even compare the two.
The only thing that's comparable is football. Football is definitely football in the NBA, because there's some games that happened between 2001 and 2021 that were like some of the best Super Bowls happened during that time frame. Like they just did. Like, and then some of the best NBA finals and some of the best NBA playoff runs happened during that time frame too. Like, there's some debate there, but music, hell no. And that's coming from me and me, Mike, and Moolage. Like, that was our music, going through school, and we still talk about the 2000s era when the South ran hip hop. It's still one of the hardest eras to compete with.
No, you were wilding.
Here we go. I knew that was gonna push a button. I was waiting for it too.
I said what I said.
From 85 to look, I can just say from 96 to 2000 washes everything. So, but if I want to get serious, I can go from 85 to 2000, and then there's no contest. No contest. Zero. But like I said, this is a gentleman's talk conversation.
See, now with the music debate, we 100% can put something together for that, because that would be fun.
Even fashion, like
85 to 2000 versus 2001 to 2015. I see some comparable things in there, and that would be. I would like to even that debate out with having like 2 OGs and then like myself and Micah, or hell, we can go with 6 because we could throw Mullage in there and then bring three OGs versus three youngsters, and that would be.
Yeah, like I said, I told my brother, I said you might have to come on the show, like you might have to do that.
Look, my dad might have to make an appearance just to even the score. That'd be three OGs and then the 3 of us. Like that actually would be very.
Troy met my dad. You don't want that. I call my dad.
Hey.
My
boy,
dad, you.
My dad get with it too. So, and my dad definitely knows music. Being a DJ, a former producer, like my dad.
I told you, my dad was singing back in the 70s and the 80s. I told you he lost to Freddie Jackson at the Apollo.
I'm bringing the guys straight out of Detroit, man. Cause my dad's straight out the D, man, and he just like y'all pops, man. That boy is.
We might have to have a pop show.
We might have to have a pop show because they might just sit around and talk for 5 hours. We just might be in the background, like damn.
I can see some fun happening with that. That would be fun. But we talked about Robert De Niro. Let's talk about the other legend in this conversation. And,
I know you want to give Morgan his flowers, but I don't even think you need to explain it. I don't even think you need to explain Morgan Freeman. We all know what's going on here, bro.
Well, we definitely don't have to explain it.
Long summer days and.
Listen, all I'm saying, say what you want about Robert De Niro. There's one thing that Robert De Niro did not do that Morgan Freeman did, and that is make a movie about motherfucking penguins interesting.
Right. He can talk about foreign water, and that shit is amazing.
Well, that takes a skill set that I don't think a lot of people have.
A tin can.
Voiceover people have a talent that is like ridiculous, and he can.
Well, but I mean, even if you just took a movie like Glory, like let's not forget this man was in Glory, and that was
his life story.
Do I have to say anything else like Shawshank Redemption?
And commenced to pouring and watering the plants.
I feel like once Mel said he played God, it takes a special kind of person to play God, bro.
It do. But it ain't the point. I just want to make sure that we talk about all these individuals because, like I said, they all deserve their flowers. Because I still want to bring up a movie like Chain Reaction with a very young Keanu Reeves, way back then.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead, Mel.
Nah, I'm just saying, look, Morgan Freeman, his resume, look, and this is no disrespect to Robert De Niro. I love Robert De Niro. It's just you putting him up against God.
Hey, let me tell you one thing though. The ultimate kicker here is for black people, we all know who Mr. Clark is, bro. And ain't nobody beating Mr. Clark.
Hey, boy, if we had more principles like Mr. Clark in this current era with these kids, I guarantee
he would have got fired.
He would have.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. When he almost pushed old buddy off the roof, that's pretty.
Yeah, he got fired. Day one, he would have got fired. They're like, nope, get Mr. Clark ass up out of here.
They were trying to get him fired in that movie.
Right. But I also just wanted to bring up the fact that he also was in Amistad back in '97, just because I want.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I got to keep bringing Amistad up because we don't talk.
Well, because that's how he got here in the first place.
Oh my God!
Hey, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but my guys, all that surrounded me, they are on a roll tonight. Okay, I don't know if y'all have been catching them, but these men up here. Okay, they are some intelligent black niggas. They have if you haven't been catching the undercovers, I'm sorry.
If they would have tuned in to the Dynasty draft, we was on 400.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Y'all was on 3,000 for the Dynasty draft.
Oh man,
Dynasty draft was 3,000. Okay.
Yeah. Just wait. I got 18 brand new TikToks ready to rock and roll from that. We had some funny ass moments during that one. And the fact that we'll talk about it on Friday. I ain't gonna even bring it up right now. We're gonna talk. Right. We're gonna address something on Friday.
Okay.
After we talk about tomorrow's Thursday night game. But let's get to this next matchup. We've got Mr. Eddie himself, another all-time great.
This is
Dustin Hoffman. This is probably the blowout on this side of the bracket.
I was gonna say I ain't even.
Hey, Mel said dog walk, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, this thing. You shouldn't even showed up to the game on this one.
This is like
you should have just stayed home.
You know what? He showed up.
We can talk about Eddie Murphy later.
He immediately got walked off the court. Like it's okay. Like he's the guy that played in the very first pickup game and didn't get his next 3 hours.
Hey,
Yeah, like
we could talk. Since you're giving people the flowers, you could talk about Dustin Hoffman. We could leave Eddie Murphy for later, though. I don't think Eddie Murphy on the show don't need explaining.
No,
look,
Eddie Murphy
what's
is
understood don't need to be explained.
Literally,
No.
like literally.
So let's just move on to the battle of pretty boys. And
Now
George
this one's
Clooney,
probably tough. Now this one's tough.
George
wait.
Clooney versus Johnny Depp.
Ooh.
Not the battle of pretty boys. Hold on, wait a minute.
Hey man, and not to mention Johnny Depp. Hey, free Johnny Depp. We glad he made it out. All right,
Hey, shout out to my boy
Like-
Johnny Depp, man. Feel me?
Now
like-
this one,
go for
this
it.
one's tight. This one's
He
tight.
is.
This one,
I agree.
Because look, Jack Sparrow
Facts.
is. I can't. That's my shit. So, but then George Clooney, he's done a lot of dope ass shit.
He
You don't forget him for
has.
Batman.
Like George Clooney has a phenomenal like what do we call it? Like so like for artists we call it like a discography. Like what do they call it for actors when you say like their resume of films?
No, it's still a discography too. I think it's
Filmography.
Filmography.
That's the word. There we
Filmography.
go.
There we go.
I couldn't. I was like, I knew the word was in my brain somewhere. It just wouldn't come out. Appreciate you, Micah. I couldn't get it out of my system, but like, yeah, no. George Clooney was like every woman's crush growing up. Like, it ain't a woman you couldn't talk to that you saw George Clooney and they just paused. Like,
No,
and it wasn't even like young George Clooney. This is when George Clooney got in his 40s, start having the pepper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When George Clooney,
Because young George Clooney,
Pepper is crazy.
just look at you and smile, and you knew if you was with your wife, her panties was wet. Like you was just like, hey George, I know you looking at my wife. You gonna have to catch these hands, bro. Like I know what you're doing right now. Like we gonna have to just throw hands, dog. Like
yeah, this is a toughie though. This is, I mean, I would edge Johnny Depp out just a little bit, bit.
See, and I'm with you. Like I think the edge goes to Johnny Depp because I think if you go back and look at all the films, if you go compare the films side by side, I think Johnny Depp is more versatile.
What he did in the 80s,
yeah,
was crazy. So
that does it for me right there. That is the reason why I'm picking Johnny Depp.
It ain't even that. It's just this man is done. This man played Willy Wonka, like
The Night Gate.
Jack Sparrow.
That's probably one of his best movies of all time.
Like we ain't even talked about Sweeney Todd.
Oh man,
Which was just fucking. And then, Micah, you know me and you know a lot about Sweeney Todd. We performed a lot of those songs in high school for choir. Like we know all about Sweeney Todd. Like
yeah,
the fact
boy.
that this man played Sweeney Todd so phenomenal.
Like it's a lot of shit. It's a lot.
But what gets me about Johnny Depp is like when he plays a role, you almost don't realize it's Johnny Depp on the screen because he looks so different.
I'll give you guys another one.
Hair, makeup, like you're like, who the fuck? Oh shit, that's Johnny Depp. God damn. Like you just lose track that it's Johnny Depp. Like you could watch a movie and almost like, oh wait, oh shit, that was Johnny Depp. I never would.
Public Enemies.
Hey, look, The Corpse and the Bride.
Look, I don't know if y'all remember. Did y'all watch What's Eating Gilbert Grape? What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yes.
Like that, and Edward Scissorhands. Like to me,
Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
Hey, hold on.
Edward Scissor.
I'm gonna do you one better because people forget that this man was in Freddy's Dead.
Come on now, keep going.
No, I hated those. I hated them.
When you, but it don't matter when you make it into a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. At that time, because Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, like those are the movies. If you made it into one of them films, even Busta Rhymes made it into one of them movies. Like you know something. If you made it, you know what I'm saying? Like Busta Rhymes said, hey, I'm gonna throw these hands with you, Mike Myers. Like I'm not gonna run from you. Like, you know, this is a big deal. But like Edward Scissorhands, creepy ass movie, but we all watched it. It's creepy as hell, but we all watched it. We were very much into this movie. Like we were like, why am I watching this? Like, but not to mention Sleepy Hollow, phenomenal book and phenomenal movie. Like The Man Who Cried. Like The Man Who Cried is an underrated film that like if you're one of them men that's like you're a macho man, you probably didn't watch this movie because it's a lot more of about a man in tune with his feelings and shit like that. It's a very different type.
It's quite literally a movie that's supposed to make you cry.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's the title kind of speaks for itself in a sense, but he was also in Blow, and Blow was like a whole other level of like, God damn, this man Johnny Depp can do some shit.
Literally, because Blow is crazy.
Yeah, From Hell, another one. From Hell was a great film.
I forgot about that.
Secret Window.
Public Enemies.
Public Enemy was one of his. That was that. There were so many. Who wasn't in Public Enemies? Like I feel like everybody was in the damn movie.
Literally, but
Alice
that movie.
Wonderland, don't forget he was in that movie too.
Yep.
and 21 Jump Street. People
21 Jump Street, the 21 Jump Street. This is why I say like the 90s. Listen here, man. 90s was that shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Dark Shadows. Not to mention he played Tonto in Lone Ranger, which was I didn't know how to feel about that remake because I was like, Lone Ranger. How do I feel?
The
about
Lone Ranger
it?
is I grew up on the Lone Ranger, and
that's what I'm saying. So, see, for somebody like you, what were your honest opinions on the remake of Lone Ranger back in 2013? I believe when it came out.
I'm not a fan of remakes.
Okay, so Is there a remake that you were a fan of?
There have been remakes that have been good, but I'm not a fan of. I would really have to sit down and see what remakes really.
Okay,
I can give you one off the top of my head, and you might not agree, but I thought the Footloose remake was great.
Oh yeah, I love both of those films. The Footloose and the remake were both good films. Like,
you know what remake was ass? Because I'm gonna do this on every show. I'm gonna figure out how to fit it in every show. Space Jam.
Well, so first of all, Space Jam, the remake of Space Jam was just a terrible movie altogether. It had nothing to do with
know what else? Know what else? House Party.
Jam 2,
you know who that?
2 was like the original.
You know what else? How High?
How High was trash.
How High?
That's when they put DC Young Fly and somebody else in that movie.
Yeah, I was just thinking with a theme that LeBron James need to stop fucking doing shit, but that was a whole nother thing.
I mean, to me, it had nothing really to do with LeBron. Like Space Jam 2 was just a terrible movie.
I just knew that was gonna come. I just knew that was coming.
I gotta fit it in. I gotta fit it in somewhere. That's
I got you. But like we got four black men here. Let's just start with that. A movie like House Party is one of them movies that you just don't touch.
You leave it alone. You leave it alone.
As a young kid, my mom had me watch that movie, so I understood the culture that much more. I don't need a remake. The original did everything you need to do for me.
All four of them.
Look, there are many stories
in that time frame.
There are plenty of stories out there of me and DJ Michael B doing the damn thing at a party, knocking that damn house party down. We was killing that kid and play like we was in that thing like that. That was a fucking film.
See, the reason why it didn't make sense to remake it is because when the house party movies were made, there were house parties.
Yeah,
you understood.
It was a house party era,
right? There was no reason they don't do house parties like that no more.
Because there's no house parties now. You don't have
because most of those types of parties end in somebody shooting up the party, dumb shit like that. Like, I mean, Micah can sign off on this. I still throw some mean ass house parties.
Yup.
Like I'm old school like that. Like
but you normally have a fire ass DJ at your house party.
That's true.
Hello. Hey, y'all see the you know what I'm saying? Y'all see the market he was like putting on right now. Hold on.
Let me throw that in there.
Hey, we not tooting no horns, but we do got a fire DJ and a fire bartender.
You talking about
you know what I'm saying in the group,
duo,
man.
Like that's the dynamic duo when it comes to a party. That you got
they do weddings
in one party. You Gucci
bar mitzvahs.
Look, not to mention, look, all I'm gonna say,
bachelorette parties.
If we live on YouTube, I want to make sure everybody catches what I'm about to say. So, Micah, I'm writing a check for us real quick. All right, when we talk about certain things at parties, all right, when we start talking about something very particular like this game called beer pong, all right, we may or may not have a team name known as the Hall of Fame Splash Brothers in this motherfucker.
All day.
Okay.
And since we're from Texas, we also will deliver that smoke on the cornhole board too.
Oh, see.
Okay, see, look, coming soon, everybody will be the From the Sidelines party, whatever the fuck we gonna call it.
It's gonna be the From the Sideline carnival game.
Because I heard some mess and I missed it, but I caught up on it yesterday. Okay, so I heard about some basketball gonna be being played. I heard about it. So I'm just I'm making sure because me and Boo-Wop had gotten left out of this.
Not necessarily left out,
but it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
But I'm with you.
Mel, as we say nowadays, because you're a little bit older. You can come catch all the smoke.
Woo!
Plain and simple.
But that's why I'm here. But that's why I'm just letting it be known that look, I'm a chimney. I take all that smoke and throw that shit outside because it ain't for me.
Hey.
It's okay because when you throw it outside, here's what I'm gonna do for you because I am Amazon Prime. I'm same day shipping. You're gonna get that smoke the same day you ask for it. Like that's just the way we get down around here.
Okay. Look,
Yo,
and this
this
look,
shit talking level here is ridiculous right now.
look, I said it. This is
As
I'm
the
here.
resident smoker,
This is the
I'm ready
point.
for all the smoke.
I'm building up to Friday. I'm building up to Friday.
I love it. Oh no, we need it for Friday. We got a
Yeah.
beautiful,
resident,
beautiful matchup coming down Friday. So y'all make sure y'all definitely tune in to Inside the Huddle because
As the resident smoker, just know I got big lungs. I'm ready for all the smoke.
Y'all are in store for some shit on Friday. That's
Hey, we gotta get through these. Hey, we gotta get through these last two matchups. This fantasy draft about to start, dog.
I know. We're gonna get there.
Oh my bad. I told you I was fucking up everybody's show.
Yeah, we draft in like a few minutes, but it's cool. Anywho, let's get to it. So so what's the choice here? We ain't even
Johnny Depp.
Johnny
Depp.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a woman, okay, of course you're probably gonna be inclined to go George Clooney, but it's Johnny Depp. That's the clear answer. I'm not gonna lie.
And this last one, like I said, some of these for me, they hold a very special place in my heart. So Harrison Ford is my guy.
Yeah, no, see,
And,
I'm a hey.
Daddy duty calls.
I was rudely interrupted by my Afro Thunder toddler. I am a Star Wars junkie, so
it's Han Solo for me. So,
well. And I love Russell Crowe because Russell Crowe has done some amazing movies in my life.
He's not Han Solo,
but he's not Han Solo, and he's also not Indiana Jones.
That's what does it for me. Okay, Harrison Ford. I was one of the biggest Indiana Jones fans ever. Okay, and I don't put very many movies over Indiana Jones. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Let me tell you how big Indiana Jones is. I've been to Disney in Florida twice. They do a display show of Indiana Jones where this man recreates the major stunts and scenes from this movie while we sit in the amphitheater and watch this shit go down.
And I'm front row every time.
How timeless Indiana Jones is, and then
I'm
Harrison
front row every time.
because we know. If you're a Star Wars person, Han Solo is that dude. Han Solo's that dude. Like he ain't got no Jedi powers, no lightsabers, but he'll blast your ass.
Yep.
And he got the meanest backup on the planet. Because I'm just saying, my man Chewie, a few words, but my man will toss your ass off a cliff in a heartbeat.
Yeah. And he get all the alien stuff.
Come on now. Come on now. He get all the alien Jones out there. Okay,
and not to mention, my man traveled all them parsecs in no time. I'm just saying. You know,
come on, come on, talk to.
And he was, hey, look, and Harrison Ford, like, look, Han Solo was going to Vegas before Vegas was Vegas.
I don't think they hear you right now, dog. I don't think they hear you right now.
He did owe some money to some people too, but
he owed some money. He owed some money.
He did too. Him and his boy Lando, they had some toe to toe. This and Lando was kind of shady on some of that shit he was doing.
Look, you gotta understand. This how cool Han Solo was. He was cool with the only black dude in Star Wars.
Hello, come on.
Not to mention that particular scene. I ain't gonna lie, that music was hitting. You know, they said like, it was so dope that Family Guy recreated this shit. That's how epic Star Wars was, right? And the Star Wars Family Guy was one of the greatest sets of episodes that I've ever seen. That's one of my favorite all-time animated shows. Like they killed it. Like my man was killing it. Like it was great. But we have completed.
I would like to say that I am not a Star Wars fan, so I sat out of that whole spill.
Really? You're not a Star Wars fan?
I'm not a Star Wars fan.
You like Star Trek?
No, I'm not Star Trek either.
Not Star Trek.
I don't like Star Trek either. Yeah.
No, you don't fuck with the Star Trek.
I'm not a Star Trek guy.
But are you still picking Harrison Ford, or are you just gonna throw some love on Russell Crowe? Like what you doing?
Look, Russell Crowe got some good movies, but I mean, listen.
Is he a part of two iconic franchises?
Listen, Russell Crowe got some good movies, but I mean, Harrison Ford is that guy. He's been that guy. He's always been that guy. I mean, even though I don't watch Star Wars, I mean, I understand the significance of it to the culture, you know? So, I mean, come on, man. I've seen scenes of Star Wars. I just can't get into the movies.
I get you. And it's okay. I don't hold it against you. I never have.
Yeah.
You know me. But so that completes our initial round of 32. We are down to the Sweet 16. So just a quick preview into those upcoming
I
matchups.
can't wait to hear Mel.
Denzel Washington versus Christian Bale. Tom Hanks
Wow.
versus Samuel L. Jackson. Sean Connery versus Jackie Chan. Robert Downey Jr. versus Jack Nicholson. Al Pacino and Brad Pitt. Antonio Banderas versus Jamie Foxx. Morgan Freeman versus Eddie Murphy. They wrong for that shit.
That's
Oh, for that.
Goodness
gracious.
And Johnny Depp and Harrison Ford.
Oh,
God.
That's y'all are wrong for that. I might have to come and defend somebody
Mel,
on that.
This was all me and Mike could do is create the number 1 seeds, and the rest of it is completely randomized.
Yeah,
that's what makes this so great.
Yeah, and that Morgan Freeman Eddie Murphy bracket is kind of
that's sick. I'm not even gonna lie. That's
ladies and gentlemen, the Sweet 16 is gonna be on and popping. That's gonna be something. Let me bring it back to the floor here. So we have 1 minute and 20 until our draft starts. But OG Mel,
yes, sir.
Any last words? We appreciate you popping by. But any last words?
No. I said, like I told you, this is OG Mel. This is the takeover week.
It's Hurricane Mel season. That's what it is. It's Hurricane Mel season, and he's coming.
I already told Zamara I will be on PVT tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of LeBron talk over there, so we're gonna.
Oh yeah, me and Mel will both be making a surprise pop up on PVT tomorrow.
I love it. So it just sounds like each one of us from the sidelines just eventually just say, "Fuck it." Everybody's got to take their turns doing a takeover. I don't know when I'll do my takeover, but when it happens, you gonna know. What you got for us?
Well, it was a great show. I appreciate you guys for having me on. Appreciate my boy Mel for sliding through and shaking up some things as he always does. You guys know what it is. Friday, it's gonna go down between me and the gentleman next to me. We're gonna square off in the ring about which is harder, receiver or DB, more specifically corner. So make sure you guys tune into that. And like I said, y'all be seeing both of us again tomorrow on PVT. That's it for me.
DJ Michael B, talk to us.
Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all check out PVT on Thursday, and all 3 of these gentlemen you see on your screen. With make sure y'all there inside the huddle. I was waiting for that damn debate last week. I was at work on their way.
It's coming.
Like Coach Brown said, I'm coming. Look, I'm just gonna be chilling in the middle as the official. Make sure they don't throw the blows, but it's gonna happen. But like I said,
that's my brother. That's my brother. It's all love. We're over there.
Like. If you're not rocking with this train, man, when we take off, man, ain't gonna be no more seats, man. We doing pre-sales only around here. We doing pre-sales.
We don't sell tickets at the door.
So
we don't sell tickets at the door. So you got to get pre-sales now.
I don't know if we're gonna have room for you after that, but we coming. If you ain't been looking at the TikToks, how they blowing up, if you ain't been looking at how the videos been blowing up, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm telling you, when we take off, it's gonna be on and motherfucking popping. So I'm gonna close this out just like this. Appreciate y'all coming through for the round of 32. We appreciate all of the Gentleman's Talk followers on TikTok. You have helped us surpass 3,000 likes in total. So we appreciate y'all for the love on that. We got more hot videos and hot takes coming for you. As you can see by the title on there, I am the commissioner that stole your wife on draft night. They call me Mr. GQ, baby.
Yeah, I gotta fix. I gotta get one for me. I gotta come up with mine.
I'm your friendly neighborhood DJ Michael B.
My dog.
It's your boy Moolage King Peddington the third.
Yep. OG Mel for right now, but we're gonna come up with something better later.
We out, folks.
When I'm in my zone, I feel like I'm alone. I feel like I'm unknown to the world that's full of clones. My originality's focused on principalities broken. I'm loaning my heart and soul to the game that's scared to pay it back. And failure is a motherfucker. The strength to go.